At the end of the day, Burma is an unfinished nation that never, when it came out of colonialism in 1948, did so in a way that was deeply fractured and where the country has never really cohered together as a nation state. And it has been engaged, there's been civil war ongoing in Burma since independence. So I think that these unresolved issues around the role of the ethnic nationalities, the rights of the ethnic nationalities, who belongs to Burma, what an identity is that isn't dictated by Bama Buddhist unitary rule coming down from a capital, whether it's in Yangon or Naypyidaw. These are deeply rooted and very much unanswered questions in the country. And that is at the crux of why so many of the ethnic nationalities have been fighting against the central authorities, primarily the military authorities, for nearly 70 years now. What happened after Aung San Suu Kyi and the NLD came into power in 2016 is there was an expectation, a very high expectation among the ethnic nationalities that based on decades of cooperation, and whether in the border areas or other areas where they had tried to support democracy and support the NLD, that Aung San Suu Kyi would take seriously the grievances and legitimate issues of the ethnic nationalities and work with them to advance a genuine federal democratic union. Instead, what happened is there was a difference where the NLD was more focused on creating a democratic federal union. And that word order matters because it was about what the priority was. Aung San Suu Kyi and the NLD were focused on constitutional reforms that would make the political system more open for political competition, not necessarily more federal and more devolving power down to the ethnic nationalities. There were a lot of also just interpersonal problems where there was not a sense among the ethnic nationalities that the NLD leadership took seriously their grievances or was seriously interested in resolving these issues. And compared to the previous period under the quasi-civilian leadership of Thein Sein, the relationship between the NLD governing ruling party and ruling leadership, whether it was Aung San Suu Kyi or the presidents that served with her or others, was not as strong with the ethnic nationalities. And there didn't seem to be a lot of effort made on the part of the NLD from time at various points in time to really work with the ethnic nationalities and resolve these issues. So there was a lot of tension already before the coup. I guess you can say that there were a lot of problems and a lot of mistrust and a lot of missed opportunities between the NLD and the ethnic nationalities heading into this coup. It was a real problem that had been going on. And we saw this in different guises, whether it was how the different ethnic nationalities responded to the Rohingya issue, or how they were dealing with issues around things like land use and various large-scale development projects that were taking place in their territories. So there was a lot of contestation going on even before the coup. Since the coup, it has intensified as now you see the National Unity Government, the democratic forces working to try to align themselves with the ethnic nationalities who do have men under arms who have been fighting to try to join up with some of them. But the ethnic nationalities, they're not homogenous in their views on these things. Some of them are very close to China. In fact, the largest group under arms, the United Wa State Army, has no aspirations for democracy, has never really cared much about what the NLD was doing. They are essentially backstopped by the Chinese. You have the Arakan Army that is in Rakhine State that has its own very particular views. Then you have each of these ethnic nationalities: the Kachin, the Kaya, the Karenni. They're different. They're all quite unique in terms of their own agendas. And then even within one state like Shan state, you have multiple ethnic nationalities that have even within the Shan ethnic nationality, you have competing factions. So it's a very, very complicated situation with a lot of different actors. And the United States has never really had strategic depth in terms of dealing with it. China does. And the NLD has never really taken it as seriously as they should. And so since the coup, there's been a lot of effort within the democratic forces to try to build alliances and rebuild relationships that have been really neglected and undermined over the past 10 years. And it's been very, very challenging. At the same time, you have the Tamada trying to buy off these ethnic nationalities, trying to play divide and rule politics, which they are very good at and have a long history of doing.